So here we have our ingredients. We're going to use these chicken livers from our chickens this summer, which I've had in the freezer. The freezer is a wonderful thing because you can just get out what you feel like today. So we're going to make this in a very simple way. So this is the livers, and there's bacon here. It's actually turkey bacon. It's not organic. And I would have loved some with some real bacon with some fat on, but we're going to use ghee for it, so I'll put ghee in there so we get some fat. And I've got some paleo bread, which is like rye bread, only it's made with seeds and nuts. So there's no grains in there. And we've got some pickled beetroot. And they're not lacto-fermented, they're just made with vinegar and sugar, these ones, so they're not really healthy, but I'll put a bit of apple cider vinegar on it. And this is a very Danish thing, actually, having, only we use pork liver, liver wurst we call it, and often you put the beetroot on, you have it on black bread, and you put the beetroot on, or you put cucumber on. That's a very, very common thing in Denmark. Many children love it. So we're going to make that now in my own little homemade way. And yeah, let's get into it. So we'll do the bacon first. And you can use all fats, but I think for chicken it's very delicate, very lovely with butter or ghee. And as I said, if I had some more fatty bacon, that would have been nice. Actually, I think I have some fat. No, I don't have that because we eat traditionally a lot of pork fat in Denmark, and you have it under herring. It sounds really disgusting, but it actually tastes very nice. And in old times, I mean, when my mum was little, they would have rye bread with fat and salt because they were poor. They didn't have, and that was very, I don't know, very nourishing food. And very, I mean, yeah, cheap. So we don't want to really, really fry this hard. So just turn it down a little. I'll just dry a little bit because the drier the better. And this smoke taste is very lovely, I think, in the liver pate. I used to make big portions when our kids were little, and we had lambs, and we butchered our lambs when they were big. Not tiny little lambs, we never did that. Unless something happened, we had to kill it. It broke a leg or something. So, and I would make liver wurst and make a big batch and put in the freezer. So this is a way of doing it. This is something I've learnt. Because often I would make it in the oven actually. So, but this is another way of doing it. When you're just making a small lot. And so on go the livers. we really want it very soft heat, because we just really want it to brown it softly in the butter or the ghee. And it cooks very quickly, of course. So you could have used tallow, you could have used coconut oil, I mean any of those good fats. And what is also very delicious is to fry an onion very softly, like I did the other day when I made this haggis. Very softly fry an onion. You could do that first and then put the bacon on. But I'd rather not have the onion in my food. But that does give it a very beautiful taste. You can just cover it up for a moment. Just for a minute or so. I'll get back to it. Seems very nice and cooked. And I've got some cream from yesterday, from the milking yesterday. Put a bit of cream in. Could also be sour cream. We want some salt. We want pepper. And vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. That's enough. Maybe a tiny bit of thyme would be nice. Just a very small amount. I'm going to do this in the food processor because that works really well, I think. And it all goes. I may say it's best to eat your liver raw, but I'm not really into that. But you can people make smoothies with raw liver, but we're going to do this like this because it's very delicious. And we'll just make a bit of noise. from the sides. And if I had cut it up finely after I had fried it, I could have used the immersion blender. That had been just as good. So let's scoop it up into a bowl. I could have tasted it just to make sure. I think it's nice. Very nice. I could have added some more ghee, but really it doesn't need it. It's lovely and peppery. It's still warm, and that's what we really like in Denmark. When we have it sort of in a fine way, more sophisticated way, we have it warm on our rye bread. So it doesn't look that fancy, but I'll make it look fancy in a minute. So I've got my plate. There we are. And this paleo bread, I toasted it because it does make it very yummy. And we have this. Have a little piece of bacon here. So here's my liver pate. And we can put the beetroots on. Have a little bit of bacon on top. More beetroot. And I'm gonna eat it. I'm just gonna eat it now. There we go. I'll pour some apple cider vinegar on it too. So here comes the apple cider vinegar, which is just to make the beetroot a little bit more alive, but also because it's just very tasty. So, and then it all falls apart. More sour taste. So that was liver, a way to make liver pate or liver wurst with chicken livers. See you, my friend.